Hey, everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're looking at something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We're going deep into the I Ching,
Okay.
that ancient Chinese text,
All right.
to explore the 33rd hexagram known as Dun.
Okay.
And this is all about the concept of strategic retreat.
Interesting.
Have you ever felt like sometimes the best move is to, well, not move at all?
Sure. Yeah.
That's what we're unpacking today.
The I Ching is really interesting. It's kind of like a compass, for decision making, especially when things get a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
And, it's not just about fortune telling. It's more about understanding the ebb and flow of life.
Right.
Figuring out when it's time to push forward and when it's wiser to just kind of hold back.
So this hexagram Dun, meaning retreat or withdrawal, is visually represented with heaven above and a mountain below.
Okay.
And that imagery alone seems to speak volumes. What's the message there?
Well, I think it's like the mountain is saying, hey, there's strength in stillness. Instead of always striving to climb higher, sometimes it's about finding a solid base and grounding yourself. Kind of like when you face a tough situation at work and your gut is kind of saying, hey, just observe and strategize before you jump into action.
Okay, that makes sense. And speaking of tough situations, the text doesn't sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
It throws out some serious warnings about potential pitfalls during a Dun phase. Travel, marriage, finances, even health.
Right.
The outlook is, well, let's just say it's not exactly sunshine and rainbows.
It's not a very optimistic time.
Right.
But here's where I think it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Think of these warnings less like doomsday predictions and more like those yellow caution signs on the road.
Right.
They're not saying don't go, but rather proceed with caution. It's like the I Ching is urging you to be extra mindful, to really weigh your options before you make any big decisions.
So it's not about being passive, but more about being strategic.
Exactly.
Choosing your battles wisely.
It is about choosing your battles wisely. And there's a line in the text that really hits this point home.
Okay.
In all matters, it is more fitting to retreat than to advance.
Wow, that line is a real game changer.
Yeah.
It seems to suggest that sometimes the strongest move is to step back, to regroup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it kind of like a strategic retreat in a military campaign?
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Think about it. Sometimes armies retreat to gain a tactical advantage, to conserve their strength for a more opportune time. It's not about giving up. It's about choosing your battles wisely.
And it seems like the text encourages using this time for self-improvement, right? There's another line that really stood out.
Yeah.
It advises improving oneself when times are hard. So Dun isn't just about hiding away. It's about using this time to become stronger.
Yeah, it's like the I Ching is saying, hey, use this time to sharpen your skills, to work on yourself.
Yeah.
It's an invitation to go inward, to cultivate resilience and wisdom that will serve you well when you're ready to kind of re-engage with the world.
I'm already starting to see how this ancient wisdom can apply to modern life.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going through a career change and you're feeling lost, maybe instead of frantically applying for jobs, Dun is suggesting you take a step back, reassess your skills, and maybe even learn something new.
Exactly. It's about using the time to prepare yourself to become even more qualified for the opportunities that you're seeking.
Okay. I'm definitely hooked. Now, the text is full of intriguing lines.
Yes.
And some are pretty cryptic.
Right.
Like this one. Retreating tail, danger. It is not beneficial to have a destination.
Oh, that's a great one.
What is the I Ching getting at with that?
Well, the retreating tail could be interpreted as clinging to a path that's clearly not working anymore. Like when you stay in a dead-end job or a relationship out of fear, even though you're miserable, the danger is in that stubborn attachment, in refusing to let go.
So it's about recognizing when a situation is no longer serving you.
Exactly.
And having the courage to walk away.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know exactly what's next.
That's where the not having a destination part comes in.
Okay.
It suggests that sometimes the retreat itself is the destination. It's about creating space for something new to emerge.
Right.
Even if you can't quite see it yet.
That's deep.
Yeah.
It's like trusting the process, having faith that something better is waiting for you, even when you're in the midst of uncertainty.
That's the essence of Dun. It's about surrendering to the ebb and flow of life.
Right.
Recognizing that sometimes the wisest path is the one that leads inward.
This is truly eye-opening. It's like Dun is providing a whole new framework for navigating challenges and making decisions.
Absolutely.
There's definitely more to explore here.
I think so too.
I'm ready to dive even deeper into the specifics of this hexagram. This whole concept of Dun is really shifting my perspective on how to approach obstacles. You know, it's like instead of always charging ahead, sometimes the smartest move is to kind of hit that pause button.
Yeah, it goes against that always be hustling mentality that's so prevalent these days. But Dun reminds us that there's immense wisdom in knowing when to hold back, when to conserve your energy, and when to just kind of let things unfold naturally.
It's making me think about all those times that I just pushed forward relentlessly, even when I was hitting brick walls.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Dun wisdom could have saved you some trouble.
We all have those moments. Right. But that's what I find so fascinating about exploring ancient wisdom like the I Ching. It provides this incredible framework for understanding patterns, recognizing those Dun moments, and navigating them skillfully.
So how can we actually tell if we're in a Dun phase? Are there any red flags we should be looking out for?
Well, the I Ching offers some clues, both in the literal warnings it gives and in the symbolism. Remember those cautionary notes about travel, relationships, finances, and health?
Yeah.
Those can be interpreted as signs that certain areas of your life might require a more cautious approach.
So if I'm planning a big trip and suddenly everything starts falling apart, flights get canceled, my passport goes missing, maybe I even get sick. Could that be a Dun signal?
It could be. It's not about being superstitious, but about paying attention to the signs, both internal and external. Are you feeling a sense of resistance?
It's like you're swimming upstream. Are obstacles popping up left and right? Are you feeling drained or uninspired? These could all be hints that a Dun phase is at play.
Okay, let's say we realize we're in a Dun situation. Things aren't flowing. We're feeling that resistance. What's the next step? Do we just sit back and wait for things to change on their own?
Well, it's not about passively waiting. But about strategic retreat. It's time for active reflection. Reassessing your goals, your strategies, your overall approach.
So more like hitting that strategic pause button we were talking about.
It's an opportunity to go inward, to cultivate self-awareness, and to get really clear on what truly matters to you. And remember, the I Ching encourages us to focus on self-improvement during these times.
That line about improving oneself when times are hard really resonated with me.
It's like a reminder that even when we're facing difficulties, there's always room for growth.
Exactly. Dun invites us to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as detours that can lead to amazing transformations. It's about using this time to build resilience, to strengthen your inner resources, so you can emerge from this retreat even stronger and more focused.
So it's not just about surviving the retreat. It's about actually thriving in the midst of it.
You got it. It's about recognizing that even when facing adversity, there's a potential for growth, for learning, for becoming a wiser version of yourself.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get bogged down in the struggle to focus on what's not working. But Dun encourages us to find the opportunity hidden within the challenge.
And that's where the true power of Dun lies. It's not about denial or avoidance. It's about making a conscious choice to step back, reassess, and use this time to cultivate qualities that will help you navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience.
We talked earlier about small-minded people seemingly prospering while noble people decline during a Dun phase. That idea still feels a bit unsettling. Can you shed some more light on that?
Of course, it's crucial to remember that the I Ching often speaks in symbolism. This isn't about judging individuals or social classes, but about contrasting approaches to navigating the world.
So small-minded people could represent those who prioritize immediate gains, even if it means cutting corners or taking advantage of others.
They might be driven by self-interest, using manipulation or shortcuts to get ahead,
Okay.
During a done phase, when things are uncertain, it might seem like those tactics are working for them.
While noble people, those who operate from integrity and a higher purpose, might find themselves struggling.
Yes, because their focus isn't on short-term gains, but on long-term values and principles. Dun challenges us to stay true to those values, even when it seems like the world is rewarding a different approach.
It's like a test of character.
Yeah.
A reminder that true strength comes from staying aligned with your core beliefs. Even when it's tough.
Precisely. And that's where the profound wisdom of Dun really shines through. It reminds us that true success isn't just about external achievements, but about the qualities we cultivate, the resilience we develop, and the integrity we maintain throughout life's challenges.
This is such a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's reassuring to know that even when things feel chaotic and unpredictable, we have the power to choose how we respond, how we grow, and how we ultimately emerge from those experiences.
And that's the beauty of Dun. It empowers us to navigate change with wisdom, grace, and an understanding of the cyclical nature of life. It's about recognizing that retreat isn't a sign of defeat, but a strategic move, a time for renewal, a stepping stone to greater strength and resilience.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
Good.
I feel like I have a whole new set of tools for navigating difficult situations.
Yeah.
And I love how you've connected this ancient wisdom to modern life.
I'm so glad to hear that the I Ching is a treasure trove of wisdom.
Yeah.
And I think it's more relevant than ever in today's fast-paced world.
Okay, so before we wrap up,
Right.
let's turn our attention to the listener.
Okay.
How can they apply the concept of done to their own lives?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Take some time to reflect on areas where you might be feeling stuck, drained, or uninspired.
Okay.
Are there any situations or commitments that are no longer serving you?
Yeah.
Perhaps a job that's draining your energy, a relationship that's become stagnant, or a project that's lost its spark. Consider whether a strategic retreat in these areas might allow you to regroup, reassess, and ultimately move forward with greater clarity and purpose.
That's such a powerful invitation, and I think it's important to remember that done isn't a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
It's a concept that we can adapt
Absolutely.
to different situations in our lives.
It's about finding what works for you, trusting your intuition, and listening to the whispers of wisdom that come from within.
So whether it's taking a break from social media, saying no to an overwhelming commitment, or simply carving out some quiet time for reflection, the wisdom of done is there to guide us towards a more balanced and fulfilling life.
And remember, retreat isn't about running away from our problems. It's about consciously stepping back to gain clarity, to recharge, and to emerge stronger and more prepared to face whatever challenges lie ahead.
This has been an incredible exploration of done.
Yeah, it has.
But before we wrap up completely, let's take a moment to see if there are any other nuggets of wisdom from this hexagram that we haven't touched on yet. You know, as we're exploring this idea of strategic retreat, I'm reminded of another line from the Dun hexagram that we haven't really touched on yet.
Okay.
A prosperous retreat, nothing is not beneficial. It almost sounds like a paradox.
Yeah.
How can retreating be prosperous?
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most intriguing aspects of Dun. It challenges us to consider that sometimes the most beneficial action is actually inaction. By stepping back, creating space, and allowing things to unfold organically, we might open ourselves up to possibilities that we wouldn't have seen otherwise.
So it's like instead of always trying to force things, sometimes we need to surrender to the flow and trust that things will work out in their own time.
Exactly.
That's what the Yi Jing is suggesting.
This line speaks to the power of non-doing.
Of letting go of our need to control every outcome. It reminds us that there's a natural rhythm to life. And sometimes the wisest course of action is to align ourselves with that rhythm. Instead of fighting against it.
That's a profound concept, and one that I think a lot of us, myself included, could benefit from embracing more fully.
I agree.
Especially in a world that often values constant striving and achievement.
Absolutely. Dun offers a much-needed antidote to that always-on mentality. It reminds us that it's okay to pause, to reflect, to replenish our reserve.
Right.
It's in those moments of stillness that we can often connect with our deepest wisdom and discover the most creative solutions to the challenges we face.
This entire deep dive has been such an eye-opening experience.
Yeah, me too.
It's truly amazing how much wisdom is packed into this ancient text.
Right.
And how relevant it remains even in our modern world.
I completely agree that I Ching is a timeless source of guidance.
Yeah. And I think exploring hexagrams like Dun can offer us invaluable insights into navigating the complexities of life.
So as we wrap up this episode, what are some of the key takeaways that our listeners can apply to their own lives?
Well, I'd say one of the most important takeaways from Dun is the recognition that retreat is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic move that can lead to greater strength, clarity, and resilience. It's about understanding that sometimes the most powerful action is to step back.
Right.
To observe, to reflect, and to reconnect with our inner wisdom.
And it's about having the courage to trust that even in moments of uncertainty, there's a deeper intelligence at work guiding us towards our highest good.
Beautifully said. And remember, the I Ching is a living text meant to be engaged with and explored.
Right.
Don't be afraid to revisit Dun whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or in need of a new perspective. It's a source of wisdom that can continue to offer guidance and support throughout your life journey.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
My pleasure.
It's been a true pleasure diving deep into the wisdom of Dun with you.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and feel inspired to embrace the power of strategic retreat in your own lives. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the mysteries of life.